I also wanted to start the video by petting a kitty. That's a ferocious looking cat. It reminds me of an Asian water cat. I forgot the exact name, but they are really ferocious looking. You can also interact with the pigs and some other animals. Now, the game is a remake of a PlayStation 2 game, and that's why it might look a little bit weird. My review for the game is 8 out of 10, must play, it's amazing, but with a big but. It's not one of those games that you buy at full price, because the full price is 50 euros. I think this is a 20 euro, 25 euro games, just because of the way the content is made and how you're supposed to play the game. So the gameplay loop is very simple. I'll show all of that, but let's explain the problem a little bit. So this game might be an 8 out of 10 for me, but for other people it might be 6 out of 10. Other people 10 out of 10. The game has definitely a lot of character, a lot of personality, a lot of magic, but the gameplay loop is a bit simplistic. You basically go to a map, purify the defilement. As you can see, everything is nice over here. Free the villagers, fight demons, protect Yoshiro the priestess, which is in the tent. And then you can repair the base by assigning the villagers to their roles. It's just assigning the villagers. Then you also get a lot of upgrade points, which are the sacks you see on the upper right over here. And then you can also fight some bosses. The boss fights can be very interesting. Some of them are a bit meh, but most of them are very cool. And with the sacks you can upgrade your villagers, which they have classes. So you assign a class to a villager out of all of these. And then you can also upgrade the classes. So for example, the spearman, if you upgrade them, you receive more health and more damage, but also different skills that will make the unit much stronger. And you can also move them around as much as you like. You have full control over your units. And also the avatar, the character you are playing, so can unlock a lot of other stuff as well, including more upgrades for other stuff. So you can upgrade them via the Musubi sacks, which is a form of food or something. You can also upgrade your character or your entire game based of the talismans. So the talismans are pretty straightforward, some of them at least. For example, more health, a little moderate damage, a lot of damage, but it's actually a small change. More speed, rate of the bow, but you also have stuff like get more crystals. The crystals are the ones you use to either carve the path, meaning you use crystals to make the priestess go forward, or to change the class of a villager. The actions are simple, you just use them to heal yourself or the villagers. And this is the maximum limit you can get, so you can take some of the resources to one mission from one mission to the next one. And guess what? Sometimes you'll have nothing left and you have to play the next mission in a much harder fashion. Over here you have some special attacks. They are super cool, let's look at them. Basically these are the attacks that can kill big enemies in one shot, or at least almost kill them. Some of them can also be for utility. This is also the bow. You also have a few bow skills. You can also have another type of dance. It's basically modifying the way you attack and your combos. And this is basically the entire game. Now, what is the problem? The problem is that the entire game is about 15 hours long. That's how much you need to finish the game. And if you want to do all of the bonus objectives that you have for every level, this is where things get a little complicated. So, the first time you finish a level, you don't see the bonus objectives. After you finish the level, you see the bonus objectives and you have to play the game again in case you didn't do all of them in a single playthrough. But the problem is you will be playing some missions 3 or 4 times. Most of the missions you'll only play 2 times, but some of them will be played 3 or 4 or even 10 times to get all of the bonuses. So you can get all of the sacks, and as you can see, we'll also have 2 chests over there, which are also Musubi points. But the second time you play the game, all of the villagers are already freed, so it's easier. So let's play again. Let's play like this. Now, there is also a big catch. The game is very easy in the beginning. It will get harder at the midway point if you don't get a lot of upgrade points, and then it will get much harder in New Game Plus. So the premise is that you have to play the game in New Game Plus for it to have some challenge. Otherwise, it's not so bad when you first play it. Also have a bow unlocked. You also have the carpenter to build different things. Sometimes you build a barrier, sometimes you repair a cannon, sometimes you repair something else. And you have to find 10 defilement points to get extra talismans. That's freeing the animals. You also carve the way for the priestess to go. The goal is to bring the priestess to the end of the level. Sometimes you have a choice in the road, sometimes you don't. let's choose over here. It should start moving. This is the end of the game, so it will look a little bit different. And it's a bit of a spoiler-ish thing, but if you don't know anything about the game, don't worry, you're not missing much. So defilement, and you also have these cocoons where you have villagers in them, but since I finished the level 1, all of the villagers are freed. It's just something you can interact with, like the defilement, and that will free up a villager. That's something else you can do. The grass of corruption will always grow, so you'll always have a source of crystals, because otherwise you cannot move Yoshiro. Also rescue more animals. There are a few secrets or interactables. You can also destroy a few pots to get extra resources. There are also some secrets that you will not really know how to interact with, or that you can interact a little later. So I have a teleporting shot equipped. And there also will be chests that you can either open with the thief, or in this case they're already open. You just have to know how to get here. The white ones will only give you resources for the mission, the black ones will give you upgrade points. And this is the gameplay loop. Or at least the majority of it. Don't worry, we'll also do a boss fight. You can also skip time if you like. So let's skip time and let's do a little bit of combat, because you kind of understand the idea now. You can also repair the towers. There are also some traps over here. There are many interesting things you can do in the game. So basically you are preparing during the day and fighting during the night, but my character is already too strong. You can also repair a cannon. If you like, I guess you can repair the cannon. The cannon is actually quite the appearance. You'll see it a couple of times now. There is also a skill you can get for that basin to give you more damage and invulnerability for a short time, but I don't have it now. So how does this work? Well, all of the villagers can have a certain class assigned to them. So let's give everyone a different class. The priest, which is more or less useless. The healer, which heals everyone including your own character but not itself, so the healer cannot heal itself. The ascetic, which basically slows down enemies and increases the damage they take, and also damage them at the last level. The sorcerer, which basically has a spell that runs all the time, and when the spell is charged you do a lot of damage to everything on screen. The priest will just negate the buff of the enemies and destroy some acid water on the floor. Not much, doesn't do much, useless. Healing. The thief is the one that digs up the chests and also gathers crystals if you have that upgrade, but cannot attack, cannot fight. Archer, pretty self-explanatory. Sumo. Sumo, I guess he taunts and also can do a palm attack and can also stun units in a big AoE. Spearman. Exactly how it sounds, it attacks enemy at a range, has a big advantage over the enemies that cannot really attack it back. Cannoneer is AoE damage, plus it reduces the guard stance of enemies. So if you reduce the guard stance of a big enemy or of a boss, it's stunned for a few seconds and then you can perform a big damage attack. Musketeer shoots a rifle at a long distance, not much to say about it. The Shinobi. Shinobi is exactly what you think it is. It has a ranged attack but also a sword attack, or a melee attack to be more precise. So let's bring them over here as well. I guess you can repair that as well. So as you can see, I'm out of resources. Because I chose, some of the classes will be cheaper. You can also have talismans that reduce the cost of changing a class. It's a very in-depth game when you look at it from the outside, but like I said, it's only 15 hours long. You need about 35 hours to get all of the bonuses and finish the game once. You also can repair the bridge. Sometimes there is a reward behind it, sometimes it's just the talisman. So if you purge all of the defilement... So this level has two stages. The first stage has a few villagers, has a few defilements you need to take care of, and it will always have a talisman. Oh, this sphere is already cured from the defilement, okay? You do get a lot of rewards, but most of the stuff is redundant. For example, you can get a talisman that gives you a little HP, then you get a talisman that gives you a moderate of HP, and then you get a talisman that gives you a lot of HP. Okay, let's have time. So let's do a bit of the combat loop and then kill some more of it. I'll not do too much combat because it's more or less the same. You also have to put the villagers according to their role. For example, the spearman will go over here, these guys are ranged so they will go over there, maybe in the tower, the gunner will go over there, healer will go over here, sumo will be at the front, it's a tank, the sorcerer will just go in the back, I guess we can also put him in front to see what he does. The ninja or the shinobi can go over here, Thief doesn't do anything but collect the crystal during the night. Yeah, everyone does their own thing. I guess I don't have a woodcutter because the woodcutter is just a basic melee unit. So let's watch some of these guys. They also have a zoom out feature. Oh wow, that's so nice. Okay, let's watch the villagers interact. As you can see, they have vastly different behaviors. The cannoneer is reloading, the sorcerer is rolling the spell, the sumo is taunting anyway, the other ones the Stokera or something like that. Let's see the lightning. Enemies also do a lot of things. That was the stun. Some of them will try to corrupt your units and then they'll start damaging your other units. Some of them will jump, some of them will fly, some of them will throw poison. The enemy is quite varied in that regard. Oh, it's a giant. That's a very late stage ability. And you can also put them around. For example, you can put this character over here, this character over here to guard this area. Anyway, you just assign them to their position while your main character also attacks and does stuff. Our character is also very strong with the ranged attack, combos, special abilities, and some other stuff he can do. It's a very strong character, he can also heal very easy, he can block, he can repost, he can do a lot of other cool stuff. It's basically like a Souls-like Ghibli Tower Defense game. Oh, that's the best way to describe it. Anyway, I'm just playing and speaking at the same time, so let's do a boss fight. We'll not do the entire boss fight, we'll just do a little bit so you can see how it is. There are also both missions where you fight on the boat, there are also missions where you only play as the hero. There are boss fights where you play only as the hero, but that's only one. Usually you have the villagers accompanying you. Basically go from there to here. You can count the missions. This is a boss fight. This is a mission with a base where you repair stuff afterwards. This is one of the more funny missions. One of the more funny boss fights. Again, some of the boss fights can pretty much be like an elite, but some of them are really special, like this one. You still have to defend the priestess. So let's play a little more balanced this time. We'll use only the cannoneers this time and a few shinobis. No healer. Oh, thank you. At this point of the game I have pretty good talismans and some other stuff. So let's see how it is to play with the shinobis and the cannoneers. Yeah, again, this is the end game. Your experience will be a lot different in the beginning of the game, where you'll just have archers and some other stuff. The music, well, the music is almost, for me it's a 9 out of 10. It's not a legendary status music, but it's so good. Especially some of this stuff. The boss designs can be super funny and fun. A bit frustrating, but again, only on normal game plus you get to experience a difficulty. You can make them defend or attack. Let's see this attack up close. It's a visual spectacle. The game is really special. The Shinobi squad has arrived. summon some units, so go defend the priestess. I guess you can use this ability. Yes, it's a bit jazzy. You know, this reminds me of Cowboy Bebop in some cases. Where is that boss? Oh. I did this boss a lot of times, so that's why I know what to do. Okay, let's go on the attack. This boss is definitely one of the more dodgy ones. Usually it's a lot more straightforward. Oh wow, these guys are doing a lot of good work. Oh, one of our villagers already died. Okay, let's try and destroy the boss, but it's exactly what we'd expect. Okay, enough of that. I think we have seen enough. Let's go to the stage selection and let's go to a more quiet area. I guess you have now seen all of the phases of the game, the repair phase, the active phase, the boss stages. Let's go... Yeah, the marsh. Let's go to the base in the marsh. As you can see, if you repair everything, you can go back there and just enjoy some other things. Now, repairing stuff also gives you plaque and some other stuff. So the game is full of stuff like this. You can basically see all of the enemies. Sadly, you cannot read about them, what they do, how to counter them. You just see their models over here. So as you can see, there are a lot of enemies. The samurai. Come on. Let's see the samurai. You guys are crazy. Don't worry, you're killing demons, not humans. Oh yeah. Dark Souls boss over there. And then you also have some of the animals. So again, this is a balance of gameplay. So a lot of players will say that the game has a lot of downtime. Well, if you ask me, the amount of downtime is about 20% of the game, because after you do, let's say, a boss fight or a mission normally, you have to assign the villagers to their repair post. For example, just press F, you assign a few villagers, and then you go to another place, assign a few villagers, and then you just do a mission, either a boss fight, which can be 1 minute, or any other stage, and then a day will pass. Iba. Iba. But there is also a gallery. There are a lot of stuff to see. You also get some resources when you get back. Oh, you like that? Okay. There's also the gallery, which kind of tells you the story. So nice, yeah. Now, art will always be art, regardless of the country that makes it, so as long as the art is in the style of the country. This reminds me of Ai Genma for that from that anime where, yeah, you know the anime. In it. Basically, the story is about a goddess. This is the priestess, the goddess who are the guardian spirit, where play as a spirit. The villagers are also helping defend against the demon hordes and stuff like that. The story itself is kind of simple, but it's told in such a good way that it doesn't really matter. So basically, that's the entire game. I've shown you everything, so let's relax a little bit and see some of the animals. They're so happy. Rabbits. So that's why the game looks a little bit weird. You also have a lot of... oh, I guess she also likes snakes. She's like a Disney princess in a way, because the animals will come to her after you release them from the defilement. Oh yeah, the boar. The boar is the funny one. Don't they look happy together? They sure do. Pheasant. Oh wow, yes, the pheasant as well. Trying to catch one. The sparrow. Let me see what are the chickens. The chickens have a funny one as well. Oh yeah. They're trying to eat his lunch. Cows. Don't. The sumo will headbutt the cow. Don't do it. Kind of funny. I never saw this one until now. As you can see, every talisman... Oh, you can see... This is interesting. I didn't notice this before. So you can see all of the talismans you have gathered. So every talisman has a different look to it. Even though they might do more or less the same thing, like giving you a little health, moderate health, and a large amount of health, they still look very, very different. That's so nice. So as you can see, I should have made us an easier interface to use. Oh, those are death talismans. I suppose those are after New Game Plus. So the game has New Game Plus plus 8, and that's when you'll get all of the talismans. If you finish the game once, I guess it depends on the person. Some people might not be happy with about 12 hours or 15, let's just say 15 hours of playtime for 50 euros. But you can also play this game for 50 hours or even more if you want to get everything. But it's not really worth getting everything, since it's... I wouldn't say it's a downgrade, but most of the things are just side grades and they follow a very straightforward progression system. Plus, this system is annoying how you use it. Overall, a great game that came back from the past, and it's exactly what you think it is, but the price, the repetitiveness, the downtime... I like the downtime. It's very relaxing. I can just walk around here for a few minutes if I want. The music is so nice. The gameplay loop is a bit boring because there's no difficulty to the first part of the game. You have to finish the game once and then play a New Game Plus to actually see some of the difficulty. And the main challenge and the main objective of the game is to do all of the bonus objectives, so that might be a little bit annoying for some people. So buy when it's discounted for about 20 something euros and have fun with the game. This is definitely one of those rare games, one gem of a game that was kind of, I don't know, I think it's mishandled. If the game was released with a lower price, this game would have been one of the best games of 2024, even if it was a remake, but yeah, I guess that's life and that's gaming corporations these days. Bye bye.